What's up, guys? It's Nassim, aka DVD Collector. Today I'll be reviewing Disturbia from 2007. Disturbia follows Shia LaBeouf as he spends his days spying on his neighbor. One neighbor in particular, he's suspected of killing people. So Kale tries to get this girl involved, who's his next door neighbor, and he likes her. Now, the film is a loose version of the 1960s Alfred Hitchcock's movie Vertigo, I believe. Uh, but this film takes a PG-13 route, and it wasn't bad for a movie of the 2000s. The thing that I liked about it was the pacing. The pacing was very fast. The movie's only 80. The movie's like 104 minutes. It doesn't really feel like that. So the movie follows Kale as he gets sentenced to 3 months probation for punching his teacher because the teacher had made remarks about his dad who had passed away. Um, the positives of the movie, the pacing. I thought the acting from Shia LaBeouf definitely improved. I thought the dialogue for how PG-13 it was didn't bother me as much as other PG-13 horror movies tend to do. But this, it felt very condensed. Great story. The jump scares in the movie wasn't very effective at all. Actually, there was times where in the movie, I don't know, cause it comes off as a comedy in certain points. Like the best friend, I forgot his best friend's name, but Kale's best friend in the movie is the comedic relief, and there are certain moments where I laugh at the character, and that's what you're supposed to do. The tagline, the little review, says a scorching nail biter that will leave you jumping out of your seat. That's not true. The movie is not scary. It's more of a drama. It's more of a thriller. This came out in 2007, so the height of like the remakes and the reboots and different studios. So this one, I read on IMDb that this movie was apparently supposed to be a Alfred Hitchcock movie, not of Vertical, but of Rear Window. It was supposed to be a full-fledged script of Rear Window. However, during the production of the writing, they couldn't get the license to reboot it. So what they did was they loosely adapted it, made this film, and they called this the Rear Window remake. The positives again, it was fun. I enjoyed myself. The negatives for PG-13, the violence is very much lacking, and I understand that's PG-13. I'm not wanting to see death in every single scene, but the way the movie is portrayed is the neighbor, played by um I don't know who's the player, the actor that plays the killer, but he's portrayed as like this ruthless kind of Ted Bundy killer, and you never see that. Granted, you do see blood, but it doesn't come out of anybody. It just is a spot there. So I think the movie definitely gets bogged down by the PG-13 rating. Definitely, especially in a lot of the scenes where I think it would have been very fun for it to be PG-13. They didn't utilize that. The movie was written by Christopher Landon and Carl Eastworth, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Carl is responsible for another remake. He's responsible for The Last House on the Left. But Christopher Landon, who is a great horror writer, he did the Happy Death Day movies and he did the Freaky movies. You could tell a lot of his skills that he would later hone in would be utilized a lot, but the making of his writing tells in this movie the comedic timing, the jokes, the kind of dark humor. Carl, I only seen one other film that he wrote, and that was a remake of Wes Craven's classic. But this one wasn't that bad. Overall, I think the movie could have been rated R. That would it was supposed to be rated R. I read that it was supposed to be rated R. However, during production, they wanted to make it PG-13, which is why there was supposed to be a scene in a basement where the killer had all the dead bodies lined up and he was kind of torturing them. In PG-13 edition, there is no such basement shown to have bodies. There are bodies, but they're dead already. So yeah. So overall rating 7 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10. It depends. I might have to do another rewatch to kind of see where I land. It wasn't bad. It needed a little bit more, and I definitely thought the writing was very good, especially for Christopher Landon, because I love Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. So this has been my review of Disturbia. Tune in whenever when I do another review. Peace.